Hello and welcome to Transmission. Tonight I am joined by the lovely Ashley.
Thank you.
Welcome, welcome. Now, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, about, who you are?
Who I am? Well, I'm just like any ordinary person, really.
Yeah.
I love to go out and do karaoke. I have a great social life. Just recently won a karaoke competition, which is fantastic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'm off to the snow in another 3 weeks, which is great.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. Like I said, just like any ordinary person, really. Yeah.
And so I suppose just like any other person just with, that you, I suppose, identify as a trans woman?
No, not
No?
trans woman.
No?
Just a woman.
Just a woman?
Just a woman, yeah.
And who happens to be trans?
Who happens to be trans, yes. Yeah.
So how long have you sort of been identified and been sort of out as a female?
As a female? Probably been out for about 1.5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I first transitioned when I was 21.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a relationship that broke down. Started my transition, met another girl, and I turned around to her when we first got together and said, look, I can't be with anybody who doesn't accept me for who I am, which is fair enough, you know. We all want to be ourselves.
Yeah.
And so she was fine with it. We dated for about 1 year, and then I was just about to start hormone treatments, and she wanted me to slow it down a little bit. So we slowed it down, didn't start the hormones. And then she said, all right, well, I don't want you to go out in public as a girl anymore. So I stopped doing that because by this stage I'd fallen in love with her and everything. We all know how it goes.
Yeah.
And then then she stopped me from going to work as a girl, stopped me from going outside as a girl, and then stopped me from dressing full-time in the house as a girl. So I was basically back to being a guy again full-time. I managed to suppress that for probably another 10 years and then had massive breakdowns and decided I had to change again. So I went on and transitioned, broke up with her and got divorced and retransitioned again and haven't been happier since.
Wow. So what was that like, I suppose, because a lot of people talk about sort of coming out and starting the transition process and sort of, I suppose, going through all of those emotions and then and everything and then suddenly happening to sort of feeling as though you have to step back and go back to what sort of made you unhappy.
Yeah, that was hard. That was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done, to try and suppress it after you've come out and, family knows and everybody else knows, and then coming out and saying, well, I'm actually going to live as a guy again. And it's like, well, hang on. It sort of confuses everybody as to what's going on. So coming out the second time made that a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I suppose people would be like, oh, well, you've already said this before.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Was there anything easier the second time around, though?
I think society in general. In the 10 years between the two transitions, I noticed that society in itself had actually gained more acceptance of trans people, which was absolutely fantastic. It made my second transition much better, much easier. So, yeah.
And because you're from a rural area, how has that been? So did you transition whilst living in that area?
Yeah. I come out to pretty much everybody, really. Transitioning in a rural area. People think, they're all country hicks, and especially people from the city, had this idea that they'll all drive around in big four-wheel drives and everything like that. But realistically, they're just like anybody else out there as well. The acceptance of trans people in Ballarat actually really surprised me when I come out. They were really supportive, really, really supportive. Because, 1 minute I'm dressing as a cowboy, dressing as a cowboy, going to the pubs, doing karaoke. Yeah. And then the next week I'm full on makeup, dresses, going to the pubs, singing girl songs. So, it was a little bit different. And every now and again I'd get up and just do a bit of a guy song, throw in a blue suede shoes or, it's something like that just to turn a few heads and see what sort of reaction I get. But the reaction is really good. Yeah. So the acceptance is fantastic.
Yeah. That's really good. So, you've mentioned sort of the karaoke. So was it literally as much as that you were singing sort of male singing artists and then just?
Well, it sort of was. like I said, I continued singing guy songs while looking like a girl, and I found that I was like getting a lot of really weird looks.
Yeah.
People getting very confused as to what the hell was going on. So, I started to learn more feminine songs. Started out with Pink and Mama Cass and all those really cool songs.
Yeah.
Started out singing those, and now I'm up to singing Evanescence and the really high pitched. Right up there.
So did you have to sort of train your voice?
I have had a lot of voice training to get my voice to where it is. So.
Yeah. And what sort of does that involve, like in terms of?
Well, the Monash Voice Clinic is the one I went to. I found their program to be really, really good and really helpful. When I first went there, they weren't sure what to do because my voice in itself hasn't actually changed much. I've just, as they've put it there, I've created more resonance in my voice. So, I don't know.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, exactly. It's words that they use, I guess.
Yeah.
They didn't know exactly what to do, so that's what they focused on, was building the resonance in my voice.
Yeah.
So.
And have you noticed, because you said your voice hasn't actually changed, have you noticed your range
My
changing?
vocal range as far as singing goes has.
Yeah.
And I think that does come down to training my voice to do it. So.
Yeah, because I suppose because hormones and things taking sort of female hormones doesn't necessarily change much.
It doesn't, not as far as your voice goes, no. It doesn't change a lot.
Yeah, so then you're sort of trying to work with that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So how did you sort of get linked in with sort of doing that sort of voice coaching and all that sort of?
Through my psychologist or psychiatrist years, asked me if I wanted to go through voice training. All my friends turned around and said, "You don't need it, don't worry about it." And me being as insecure as I am, I decided, if he's offering it, then maybe I do need it. Yeah. So I decided to go through with the program and so.
And is it something that you would sort of, are you happy that you went through that program?
Look, I am, because it has helped me in some regard. So I am happy I did it, but look, all my friends think I'm mad for doing it, but it didn't cost too much, and it helped me to gain more confidence in myself. So which is great, because I mean, confidence in self makes people happier. And, exactly.
And all that sort of stuff. So look, thank you so much for coming on and giving us such a little bit of an insight into your life. Good luck with the karaoke championship in a couple of weeks.
Well, I've actually already won. That was the last competition I was in. I'm actually looking to do the World Championships now.
Okay, well, good luck.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for coming on. You've been watching Transmission.